I believe shonen to be the purest form of anime there is. It's a genre that has been tried and tested, still holding strong to this day, captivating the hearts and minds of people all around the world. There's always something new coming out, with the community always getting excited for their releases, be it an entirely new anime or an entirely new season. But why and how exactly is shonen able to remain so relevant today, never seeming to lose its steam unlike other genres such as mecha? In today's video, I'll be sharing my thoughts on just how shonen is able to keep at it. If you're a part of the slim minority that doesn't exactly know what shonen is, it's a genre geared towards young males between the ages of 12 to 18. The name shonen literally translates to boy or youth, and while it's aimed at males, it can be enjoyed by anyone really. It's often made to be high in action, comedy, and sometimes fan service, containing themes such as victory through hard work, the power of friendship, never giving up in the face of tough adversaries, and rising against evil, with a protagonist, usually male, with fancy colored, spiky hair, with a goal in mind such as being the very best like no one ever was. They start off weak and inexperienced, but as their journey goes on, they begin to learn new skills, master abilities, and form strong bonds with the friends they make along the way. Shonen isn't only restricted to action fancy, however, as it could be based on sports, or sometimes, cooking. I'm pretty sure a lot of you watching this got introduced to anime through shonen. You know, the popular stuff like Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, Boruto's Dad, or One Piece. Or even the more recent ones, such as My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, or Black Clover. It's because many people found anime through one of these that it holds a special place in their hearts, and it's that sentimentality that drives their respective fandoms, bringing them together. Lots of people have made close friends through bonding over anime, myself included, and it's usually over shonen. You see, I think it's the simplicity of shonen that makes it so fun to enjoy. Everything about shonen is pretty simple, from the plots to characters and designs, settings and themes. It's also that simplicity that often brings it under fire from other communities, usually labeling it as generic and unoriginal, just writing off the same concepts over and over again. Take the plot for instance. It basically boils down to good versus evil, two opposing sides clashing ideals. This is a pretty basic concept found in lots of other forms of media, but it's how they execute these ideas in relation to the settings and characters that really sells the story. In shonen, it's not the destination that matters, but the journey. You may know the outcome of a fight, but that doesn't mean you won't enjoy it, especially when the main character is involved. It also helps that shonen is usually broken into arcs, which are like segments containing their own stories that introduce new characters and concepts that each contribute to the main overarching story in some way, which really helps to gauge just how the overall plot has progressed. You can't always predict how the story will end. You know the MC is going to achieve their goal when the series is over, but you won't know how all the twists and turns play out. And when you get invested in these characters, some of these twists are going to hit hard, especially in long-running anime. Speaking of long-running, that is one of the things shonen is known for, its incredibly high episode count. They almost always reach a 100 episode mark, a feat that used to be shocking in the early days, but it's pretty normal now. And that's one of the hooks shonen has. People like to binge, and if it's something with that high of an episode count, chances are they're going to watch it. But for some reason they tend to draw the line at One Piece. The long episode count is also a factor that helps to strengthen the settings of many of these shonen anime. We get to take our time really learning and exploring the world through the eyes of the protagonist as they embark on their journey. These worlds are like some of the most detailed and lore-heavy worlds I've ever seen. Like take One Piece for example. The amount of effort Oda puts into crafting this world is nothing short of impressive. From the grand scale of the Grand Line, to the mystery surrounding the poneglyphs and the Void Century, everything has been carefully planned out for the viewer to watch unfold. The story elements are designed to be slowly answered, being fed little tidbits of information over time to theorize about, and when these questions do get answered, the payoff is almost always worth it. But none of this really matters if the characters are boring, right? Right. And with shonen, that's almost never the case. The characters are like the best part about them. Thanks to its long-running nature, all sorts of characters get introduced, from main and supporting characters to new villains, all falling into some kind of archetype with a little twist. They're not all that complex with their beliefs and ideals, making them simple enough to understand and relate to. With the vast array of characters, you're bound to love some and hate some. And the way they interact with each other is also just really entertaining to watch. Like, when the main cast gets together to just mess around and have fun, it's bound to put a smile on your face, and sometimes bring a few laughs. In shonen, you come for the action, but you end up staying for the characters. Still on the topic of characters, their designs are almost always top-notch and iconic. I'm a huge sucker for character designs, gushing over the stylish and heavily accessorized characters. I'd take this over this any day. It's the outlandish and bizarre looks that you won't find in real life that really sells the character. They say if you can tell who a character is from their silhouette, then you've designed a pretty good character. And that is the case for almost every shonen anime out there, especially for the main character. You can tell most of their personality traits from the way they look, following the show don't tell approach. One look at someone like Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter, and you know the kind of guy he is, especially with that smile. I hear lots of people aren't a fan of this approach to character design, however, as it seems a bit too on the nose, often referencing the cast of My Hero Academia. But again, it's just the simplicity, and it's been made that way specifically for that reason. Okay, I've spoken about plots, the settings, the characters and their designs, but there's one more aspect of shonen that makes it truly stand out, and that is the action. The action in shonen is like the cherry on top. It's what ties everything together. It could range from a fight scene, a sports match, or a battle of intellect. They all pack a punch, filled with hype and intensity. They're carefully choreographed and animated to just visually overwhelm you. They serve as a good way to show just how far a character has grown, how much stronger they've gotten, or how much further they need to go. They make you feel excited, they make you feel angry, and sometimes they make you feel sad. And in rare cases, they let you feel all of that in one fight. Think about the chills you got when Goku went Ultra Instinct for the first time. That excited yet sad feeling that came with All Might's United States of Smash. Or that proud feeling you got when Gon finally landed a hit on Hisoka. They're all unique in their own way, and really, it's those emotions that make us keep coming back. You know that feeling you get when you finish a book, movie, or series that just leaves you wanting more? That's I didn't want it to end feeling. We've all had it at some point. But that isn't always the case when it comes to shonen anime. When it ends, most of the time you're usually left with a rather bittersweet but satisfied feeling, if the ending was actually good. A feeling that it's finally over. They did what they set out to do, and there's nothing more to be done, and all your questions have been answered. That right there, that's beautiful. If you're a huge fan of shonen, let me know down in the comment below what your favorite shonen is, as well as what your favorite part about shonen is. And if you aren't a huge fan of shonen, let me know what you don't like about it. I'd love to hear what you guys think. And while you're there, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you aren't already, as it helps the channel out. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video. This has been BreadHead, signing off.